welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Desi D. And today, guys, we are doing a brand new series that's here on the channel, of course. It is called Album Ranking. Now, I had to do this because, as many of you all know, there's a particular artist that dropped an album just a few weeks ago. So you guys already know who that guy is. His name is Drizzy Drake. Now, we all know Drake, easily the GOAT. He is easily in the top conversation as the top GOAT, right? So it would make sense for your boy to actually rank his albums. Now, I had to literally do some full-on research. Come to find out that Drake just have released his 8th album. His 8th album in For All My Dogs. The other stuff that was going on, there was either a compilation album, collaboration album, and last but definitely not least, mixtapes. There were a couple of mixtapes that I really did thought it was an album, but apparently not. So, before we get started, guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications so you don't miss any videos and all the bangers that's going to be coming in the very near future, you guys. Also, you guys, real quick, basically shout out real quick. I got my own podcast, okay? I got my own podcast exclusively on Spotify. It is Dez Talks Podcast. So if you have Spotify, please do me a favor. Search my name, Dez Talks Podcast, and follow that podcast as well. We about to be doing episode 30 very, very soon. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start off from worst to great, all right? From worst to great. Now, he put off 8 albums so far. So let's just start off with the worst one. Ranking at number 8 in 8th place, honestly, never mind. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this was an album that I really did not feel at this point. This wasn't the Drake that I know, you know what I mean? So I had to go ahead and listen to it again real quick, and I still feel the same way. There are some vibes onto it. I do like the R&B Drake, but then there's, you know, the dancing, you know, the Caribbean Drake. Sometimes it can be cool sometimes, but then other times it's like, nah, don't really fit into it, okay? And the last song of the album was him and 21 Savage, basically, you know, Jimmy Cooks, which is leads up to Her Loss, which come to find out that Certified Lover Boy, Honestly Nevermind, and Her Loss were a trilogy. Should have thought about that because I'm not adding Her Loss onto this ranking list. I'm sorry. That is a collaborative album. That does not count. Number 7. Ranking at number 7 is Scorpion. Now, the reason why I picked Scorpion to be ranking number 7 is because there were side A and side B onto this album. Side A, it was good. It was like, decent. But then side B was good. But it wasn't better than the previous albums that I got on this ranking, okay? And plus, this was during the time where Drake and Pusha T was having beef, and he basically just let the world that I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. Meaning that, you know, he didn't want the world to know that he has a child. You know, it's none of their business, which is understandable. But even then with this album, there were some tracks on this album that I really did like. You know, Nice for What, God's Plan, you know, Jaded. You know, there was a lot of great tracks on it, but it was just not really good enough for me. You know what I mean? It just meant to be at ranking number 7. Ranking number 6, Certified Lover Boy. When I first heard Certified Lover Boy, there were so many tracks on this album that I instant fell in love with, okay? Instant fell in love with. The song with him and Lil Durk, the song that he did with Travis Scott called From a Fair Trade, the song he did with Future. It was a lot of tracks on this one that I really enjoyed, and I feel like this album was better than the Scorpion. And I think it's because, I don't know if it was because of the hype around it or the build up towards it, or just the fact that this man he snapped on a lot of tracks, especially adding Rick Ross and Lil Wayne into the mix. I feel like that was great because all 3 of them together is like a megastar. Megastars, easily. Number 5. Ranking at number 5 is his new album that he dropped a few weeks ago, which is For All My Dogs. I put this in my top 5 because honestly, it would have been in the top 3, if the tracks that was on the album wasn't on there. Like, Sexy Red should not have been on the album. She's trash, she's garbage. I don't know why she's getting all this pop popularity. It makes no sense. Bad Bunny was on there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with Bad Bunny. He's an amazing artist. But I felt like this only happened simply because of the marketing business for Spanish people, for Spanish people. If that was just like a single and that was not on the album, then that would have been cool. But then again, I really wish he would have added Search and Rescue onto this album to make it more fun and make it more, give us a reason as to, okay, it's like, okay, so this was a single off the album. This is going to easily be maybe in number 4, leading into number 3. But like I said, there was a lot of songs on this album that really did not need to be on the album. I'm sorry. This was not, no, I'm sorry. Number 4, Thank Me Later. Now, I put number 4, Thank Me Later, as number 4 because this album, this is when I first heard Drake. This was like the prime, well, I'm not gonna say prime Drake. This is when Drake was in his youth, when he was in his bag. Mind you, Thank Me Later was his first studio album. And all the songs on here was really, really good. I'm talking about Find Your Love, Light Up with Jay-Z, Fancy with Switch Beats and Mary J. Blige, Karaoke, man, bruh. He even had The Dream on this album. This album was so good, okay? This album was so freaking good, but like I said, this album didn't come close to these top 3 albums that I got set up for you guys, okay? Ranking at top 3, and number 3, Views. Oh my God. The build up towards Views was crazy. Because I remember there was rumored to be, Views from the 6. That was going to be the name of his album, but then they switched it from Views from the 6 to just Views. I remember just listening and just playing a whole bunch of songs from this album. Controller, One Dance, Too Good featuring Rihanna. He had Party Next Door and Division, and this album was so freaking good that it needed to be in the top 3. Okay, and I bought the CD of the Views, and I've been listening to it ever since. Even though I listen to it on my Spotify now, I still got the CD collection of it in my box. I might mess around and find that box and just play it again. Even though it's on Spotify, I still want to play it again on the CD version just for like the nostalgia vibes on this. Number 2, Take Care. Now, you already know Take Care is easily one of Drake's popular albums ever. This is when we was first introduced to The Weeknd, and when we was listening to, we had Kendrick Lamar on the album with the Buried Alive interlude, Lil Wayne and Andre 3000 together on the album. I think Stevie Wonder was on it, but he was like at the background, trumpet type of person. I forgot the name of the thing. But this album was so good, man. This album was a legendary album to the point where this was talked about so many times. And I don't know why a lot of times people be thinking that when Drake be doing these albums or whatnot, they really think that he's gonna do Take Care 2 or Nothing Was the Same 2 or just a part 2 of that previous album. And it's like, dude, he's not that type of artist to do that. You know what I mean? Like, why would you have him do Take Care 2 when he got other stuff that he can work on? And then on top of that, really think about it. If he does do a Take Care 2, there's already a 50% chance that a lot of people are going to criticize that because it's not the same as Take Care 2, because he would have easily put in new vibes, new sounds, and add in new artists, all that stuff. So why would you even have that on his conscience? But Take Care is easily my number 2, and it will stay number 2 for a very long time. Number one, ranking at number 1 is Drake, Nothing Was the Same. Man, when I tell you that I had so many women coming up to me asking me to sing Drake songs, it was a beautiful moment in high school. Oh my God, it was a beautiful moment. When I was in the 9th grade, I remember I was singing Drake Furthest Thing, Come Through, what else? It was another song, I think it was From Time featuring Jhené Aiko. And you know what's even crazy about this? This album was the only time we ever gotten a Drake-Jhené Aiko collaboration. Ain't that crazy? That is legit crazy. Like, these two are hit makers. And it's surprising that these two didn't even make another song together. Now, Drake and Big Sean, of course, they did a song together, but not Drake and Jhené Aiko. I really wish they would have collaborated some more. If they would have collaborated some more, man, I would have been easily on the floor. And then you got other songs on top of this one. Let's see, it's called The Connection, The Motion, Paris Morton song with Jay-Z. It was just so good, man. Like, this album was so legendary, especially every time I get in the car, in my mom's car in the passenger seat, and we driving, all I can hear is, just hold on, we're going home. Like, I hear that every single day as I'm driving home. And it was so good that I couldn't stop listening to it. That's how much of a fan I was of Drake. Now, don't get me wrong, it ain't like I'm not a fan of him today, because I still am a fan. I'm just glad that he's taking a break. I'm glad that he's taking a mental break, focusing on his health, because as of right now, man, he really does need a break. Because if you look back at all this stuff, that includes the albums, the collaboration albums, the mixtapes, the EPs, you look back on all this stuff, this man has worked his ass off for generations and generations, working with known rappers, with known R&B artists to not known artists and not known R&B artists. This man has been putting his dedication to these albums for decades, for a long period of time. Now, I remember the first time I heard Drake. I'll never forget it. I was listening to Drake, Best I Ever Had, back in 2000, what was it, 2008, 2009-ish? Had to be 2009. But either way, this was a really great song. I've been a fan of it ever since. I've been a fan of him ever since. So that's gonna be my ranking as far as Drake's album. If you want me to do more rankings as far as any other artists, whether it be a rapper, an R&B, or pop, or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below, and I will make sure to give you guys the best content that you can possibly give. That's gonna be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tap on that bell for notifications. Tap on that bell for notifications so you don't miss any single bangers that's going to be dropping, man. This is your boy Desi D saying, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.